The giant screen showed Earth spinning slowly, blue and green and white against the black of space. In the dimly lit room, 6 aliens watched the planet with their large purple eyes. "Look at the data again," said Administrator Rex, tapping his 3-fingered hand on the metal table. "The humans are making fewer weapons than 50 years ago." Rex was the head of the Galactic Security Council. His job was to keep the galaxy safe from dangerous species. For 400 years, humans had been on the list of high-potential threats, species that might one day attack others if they got into space. Analyst Kell nodded her bulbous head. "Their major nations have not fought a big war in over 70 years. That's a record for them." Another alien, Officer Dax, pointed to a chart. "Their carbon emissions are down 30%. They're fixing their planet instead of breaking it." Rex looked pleased. His gray skin wrinkled around his mouth in what passed for a smile among his kind. "And their space technology." "Still primitive," said Analyst Kell. "They have a few small bases on their moon and Mars, but nothing that could threaten us. They can barely leave their own solar system." Only one alien looked worried. Analyst Tark was the oldest in the room. He had studied humans for 200 years. His tentacles twitched nervously as he spoke. "I disagree with this assessment," Tark said. "Humans are not becoming less dangerous. They are just changing how they fight." Rex sighed. "Tark always said things like this." "Explain." "Humans adapt," Tark said, his voice low and serious. "They learn. Yes, they have fewer nuclear weapons, but their computers, their drones, their biological research, all are more advanced. They are not becoming peaceful. They are becoming smarter fighters." The room fell silent. Then Officer Dax laughed. "Tark always sees danger where there is none. He said the same thing about the Blicks, and they turned out to be harmless plant eaters." "The Blicks were not humans," Tark snapped. "Humans are unpredictable. We're making a mistake if we think they're becoming soft." Rex raised his hand for silence. "Let's vote. The motion is to downgrade Earth from high-potential threat to minimal concern. This would mean pulling back most of our observation posts and reducing monitoring by 80%. One by one, they pressed buttons on the table. A moment later, the result flashed on the screen. 5 yes, 1 no. "The motion passes," Rex announced. "Earth is now classified as minimal concern. We'll withdraw all but 2 observation posts from their system." Tark stood up, his old joints creaking. "You are making a dangerous mistake. I request my objection be noted in the official record." "So noted," Rex said, not hiding his annoyance. "Tark, you retire next cycle. Perhaps you've grown too attached to the humans after watching them so long." The meeting ended. The aliens filed out of the room, but Tark stayed, staring at the image of Earth. "They don't understand you," he whispered to the blue planet. "But I do. You're not becoming peaceful. You're preparing for something." Back on Earth, in a deep underground facility, General Moore looked up as his aide entered the room. "Sir, we've detected the alien observation posts powering down. All but 2 are leaving orbit." Moore smiled. "Good. The plan is working. Tell President Wilson the deception was successful. The aliens took the bait." "What now, sir?" "Now." Moore's eyes gleamed in the dim light of the bunker. "Now we build our real fleet, the one they'll never see coming." Outside, rain fell on the peaceful Earth. But beneath the surface, humanity was getting ready for the stars. And they were not coming in peace. 5 years passed since the aliens downgraded Earth. The big hall of the United Nations in New York was quiet as people waited. Today was a historic day, the first official meeting between humans and aliens. President Wilson stood tall in her blue suit, looking calm. But inside, her heart raced. Beside her, General Moore kept his face blank, but his eyes missed nothing. They had prepared for this day for years. "They're here," someone whispered as the doors opened. 3 aliens walked in. They looked strange to human eyes. Tall and thin with gray skin, large purple eyes, and 3 fingers on each hand. The one in front wore a shiny silver robe. "I am Commander Vex of the Galactic Security Council," the alien said, his words coming through a small device on his chest that translated his speech. "We come in peace to welcome Earth into the larger community of spacefaring species." President Wilson stepped forward. "On behalf of Earth, we welcome you. This is a great day for humanity." The room clapped politely. Cameras flashed. History was being made. Vex held up a small cube that glowed blue. "We bring gifts of technology to show our good faith. This data cube contains information about clean energy, medicine, and faster space travel." Wilson looked impressed, but General Moore's eyes narrowed slightly. He knew what these gifts really were: the cheapest, most basic technologies the aliens were willing to share. The real prize would be their weapons and shield technology, which they would never give freely. "We are grateful," Wilson said, accepting the cube, "and we look forward to learning more about the galactic community." Commander Vex nodded. "We have prepared a formal agreement for Earth to join as a probationary member. After 50 of your years, if all goes well, you may become full members." The alien handed over a tablet with the agreement. Wilson and Moore read it carefully. Most of it seemed fair: rules about trade, sharing of certain technologies, protection from hostile species. But then they reached Section 17. "This requires Earth to dismantle 90% of our military forces," General Moore said loudly, his voice echoing in the hall. "That's unacceptable." Vex looked surprised. "It is standard procedure for new species, for your own safety as well as ours. Powerful weapons in the hands of developing species can lead to accidents." The room grew tense. The aliens clearly thought of humans as children, primitives who couldn't be trusted with dangerous toys. Wilson kept her diplomatic smile. "We'll need to discuss this section further. Earth must maintain its ability to defend itself." "Of course," Vex said smoothly, "but the Council cannot admit species who maintain excessive military capabilities. It would upset the balance of peace we have maintained for 10,000 years." Moore stepped closer to the alien, his voice low but firm. "And if we refuse?" The alien's purple eyes blinked slowly. "Then Earth remains isolated. No trade, no technology exchange, no protection." President Wilson touched Moore's arm gently, signaling him to step back. "We'll need time to consider the full agreement. Perhaps we can continue discussions tomorrow." Commander Vex bowed slightly. "As you wish. We are patient." As the aliens left, Moore turned to Wilson and whispered, "They'd want us defenseless." "I know," she replied quietly. "Send the signal. It's time for Phase 2. That night, as the alien ship orbited Earth, Commander Vex contacted the Galactic Council. "The humans are resistant to military reduction," he reported, "but they will agree eventually. They need our technology too much to refuse." On the Council station, Administrator Rex nodded. "Good. And have you started the standard sampling procedure?" Vex confirmed, "Yes. We've taken 30 human specimens from remote areas for study. As usual with minimal threat species, they won't even notice they're missing." But down on Earth, in a secret facility deep under the Rocky Mountains, General Moore looked at satellite images showing exactly where each human had been taken from. "They think we're blind," he said to President Wilson. "That'll be their first mistake." Wilson nodded grimly. "And their last." The small alien outpost on the far side of Earth's moon was quiet. Only 6 aliens worked there, monitoring human communications and collecting data. They felt safe. Humans barely visited their own moon, and never this far from their main base. So when the alarms went off, no one was ready. "What's happening?" asked Junior Officer Mick, jumping from his seat. Senior Officer Jax checked the screens. "Impossible. Human ships approaching from multiple directions." The screen showed 5 small black ships surrounding the outpost. They had no markings, no lights. They had appeared from nowhere. How did they get so close without detection? Mick's voice shook. Jax had no answer. He hit the emergency button to call the main ship in Earth orbit. Commander Vex, we're under attack. On the main ship, Commander Vex was shocked. Humans attacking our outpost? Impossible. But the video feed showed the truth. Black-suited humans were cutting through the outpost doors. Laser fire flashed. Then the video went dead. Get me President Wilson immediately. Vex ordered, his gray skin darkening with anger. In the White House, President Wilson received the call with a look of concern on her face. General Moore stood beside her, his face giving away nothing. Commander Vex, Wilson said, what seems to be the problem? Your soldiers have attacked our moon outpost. This is an act of war. Vex's voice boomed through the speakers. Wilson looked genuinely surprised. I assure you, we have no military operations on the moon. All our lunar personnel are scientists and engineers. Then explain these. Vex sent images of the black ships and soldiers. I'm as shocked as you are, Wilson said. These are not our forces, perhaps a private group or terrorists. We will investigate immediately. Vex wasn't satisfied. 6 of our people are dead or missing. The Galactic Council demands you turn over those responsible within 48 Earth hours, or there will be serious consequences. After the call ended, Wilson turned to Moore. Was it our team? Moore nodded. Special Unit 7. They got what they went for. And the aliens? 4 dead, 2 captured. We're bringing them to Facility 12 for questioning, Moore said. Wilson looked troubled. This will escalate things faster than we planned. We had no choice, Moore said, placing a file on her desk. Look at this. Wilson opened the file. Inside were photos of 30 humans, men, women, even 3 children, all lying on metal tables in an alien lab. Medical tools surrounded them. Some had been cut open. These are the specimens they took, Moore explained. Our team found them in the outpost. 17 are already dead from their tests. The others we're trying to save. Wilson's hands trembled with anger. They're experimenting on our people like animals. Standard procedure for minimal concern species, Moore said bitterly. They'd done this for centuries to dozens of worlds. Wilson stood up, her decision made. Send the captured aliens to Dr. Reed. Tell her to extract everything they know about their defense systems. And Commander Vex's ultimatum. Ignore it, Wilson said, but keep playing the diplomatic game. Tell him we're deeply concerned and investigating thoroughly. Wilson walked to the window and looked up at the sky. How long until our fleet is ready? 3 more days, Moore replied. We need the intel from these captured aliens to finalize our attack plans. And our defenses, in place and hidden as planned. If they attack, we're ready. In orbit, Commander Vex paced angrily on his ship. I want all data on human military capabilities rechecked. I want to know how they reached our outpost undetected. His second-in-command, Officer Lex, looked worried. Sir, I've been analyzing their global communications. There's something strange. What? Too much coordination. Presidents, prime ministers, even countries that are supposed to be enemies. They're all using the same coded phrases when discussing us. Vex stopped pacing. What are you suggesting? That they might be working together. That their divisions might be exaggerated. Vex dismissed this with a wave. Impossible. Our studies show humans have never united globally. It's not in their nature. But, sir, enough. Prepare the peacekeeping fleet. In 48 hours, if they don't surrender the attackers, we'll show these primitives what real power looks like. Lex bowed and left, but doubt clouded his mind. Something wasn't right. Humans weren't behaving like a minimal concern species at all. Exactly 48 hours later, 20 large alien ships appeared in Earth's orbit. Their sleek silver hulls gleamed in the sunlight as they spread out, forming a ring around the planet. Commander Vex stood on the bridge of the largest ship. Open a channel to all Earth governments. Screens lit up across Earth. In the White House, in Beijing, in Moscow, in every major capital. Vex's gray face appeared, his purple eyes cold. "People of Earth, your time has run out," he announced. "You have failed to surrender those who attacked our outpost. Now you will see the consequences of defying the Galactic Council." In the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, President Wilson and General Moore watched the transmission. Around them, military officers from every major nation on Earth sat at their stations. Russian generals next to American admirals, Chinese commanders beside European officers, all working together in secret, as they had been for decades. "They took the bait," Moore said quietly. Wilson nodded. "Are we ready, Dr. Reed?" A middle-aged woman with short gray hair stepped forward. She had spent 20 years studying alien technology from crashed scout ships. "Yes, Madam President, everything is in place." Wilson took a deep breath. "Begin Operation Awakening." Up in orbit, Officer Lex noticed something strange on his screen. "Sir, I'm detecting energy signatures from Earth's oceans." "What kind of signatures?" Vex asked, not particularly concerned. Before Lex could answer, alarms blared across the ship. Multiple objects rising from Earth's oceans. Hundreds of them. From the seas of Earth, sleek black submarines broke the surface. But these weren't ordinary submarines. As they rose into the air, water streaming off their hulls, they transformed. Wings extended. Engines glowed blue. Within moments, they were no longer sea vessels but advanced spacecraft, ascending rapidly toward the alien fleet. "Impossible," Vex shouted. "Humans don't have this technology." More alarms sounded. "Sir, more objects detected, launching from Antarctica, from the Amazon, from mountains and deserts." Hidden bases all over Earth activated at once. Hangar doors disguised as mountainsides slid open. Lakes drained to reveal launch pads. And everywhere, human ships rose to meet the alien threat. "How did we miss this?" Lex whispered, staring at his screen in disbelief. In the command center, Dr. Reed explained to the assembled world leaders. "For 50 years, we've been building in secret. Every crashed alien scout ship gave us more data. We reverse-engineered their technology, but improved it with human innovation." On her screen, she showed the alien fleet surrounded by Earth's hidden armada. "Their shields are designed to block energy weapons. But we've developed something different." In space, Captain Tom gave the order. "All ships deploy quantum disruptors." From Earth's ships, strange devices launched toward the alien fleet. They didn't explode. They didn't fire beams. Instead, they created rippling waves in space itself. On Vex's ship, systems began failing. "What's happening?" he demanded as lights flickered. "Some kind of field is disrupting our quantum stabilizers," an engineer reported, panic in his voice. "Shields are failing. Weapons offline." Vex couldn't believe it. "This is impossible. Humans can't have quantum technology." But they did. For while the aliens had been watching humans build rockets and satellites, obvious technology visible from orbit, they had missed what was happening in secret facilities deep underground, underwater, and hidden in remote areas. In the command center, General Moore spoke into his communication device. "All units, execute Phase 2. Boarding parties, move in." In space, smaller human ships detached from the larger vessels and headed toward the disabled alien fleet. Inside them, soldiers in advanced armor prepared to board. They carried weapons designed specifically to fight aliens. Another secret developed over decades. On the main alien ship, Commander Vex realized the terrible truth. They hadn't downgraded a weak species. They had simply stopped watching closely enough to see that humans had been preparing for this moment all along. "Send a message to the Council," he ordered desperately. "Tell them we severely underestimated Earth. Tell them." He paused as the ship shook violently. "Tell them we need immediate reinforcements." But it was already too late. Human boarding parties had breached the first alien ships, and the nightmare was only beginning. Captain Tom led the first boarding team onto Commander Vex's ship. His black armor was unlike anything the aliens had seen before. It wasn't bulky like old spacesuits. It moved with him like a second skin, powered by tiny motors in the joints. Team 1, secure the bridge. Team 2, engine room. Team 3, with me to find their data center, Tom ordered through his helmet comm. The human soldiers moved quickly through the alien ship. When alien security forces appeared, the humans didn't use bullets or simple lasers. They used weapons designed by Dr. Reed herself, disruptor rifles that interfered with alien nervous systems, stunning them without killing. Take prisoners when possible, Tom reminded his team. We need information more than we need dead aliens. Meanwhile, in the Council headquarters millions of miles away, Administrator Rex watched the disaster unfold on his screens. Data streamed in from the Earth fleet. What he saw made his three-fingered hands shake. How is this possible? He asked the empty room. They were supposed to be primitive, divided, weak. An aide rushed in. Sir, we've lost contact with 12 ships. The humans have boarded 5 others, including Commander Vex's command vessel. Rex struggled to understand what was happening. Where did they get this technology? How did they hide it from us? The answer came from an unexpected source. His communication panel lit up with a message from Earth. It was President Wilson. Administrator Rex, she said, her face calm on the screen. I believe it's time we had a real conversation. On Earth, in the command center, General Moore stood beside President Wilson as she spoke to the alien leader. For 50 years, we've known you were watching us, Wilson explained. Your observation satellites weren't as hidden as you thought. And when your scout ships crashed, we learned from them. Rex's purple eyes widened. Impossible. Those ships self-destruct when damaged. Wilson smiled. Not when you know how to disable that feature first. Dr. Reed, would you explain? Dr. Reed stepped into view. Your technology is impressive, but predictable. You've used the same basic designs for thousands of years. Why change what works right? But we humans, we're always changing, always improving. She held up a small device. This jams your self-destruct signals. We've had it for 30 years, ever since we captured our first working scout ship. In space, the battle was turning decisively in Earth's favor. The alien ships, without shields or weapons, were easy targets for boarding. Most surrendered when they saw resistance was hopeless. Captain Tom reached the data center on Vex's ship. His tech expert, Specialist Jones, plugged human devices into the alien computers. Download everything, Tom ordered. Fleet movements, weapons specs, star maps, everything. Jones nodded. Already on it. Sir, their security is good, but Dr. Reed's decryption programs are better. On the bridge, Commander Vex was taken prisoner. Human soldiers secured his arms with special restraints designed for alien biology. You've made a terrible mistake, Vex warned as Captain Tom arrived. The Council will send a real fleet now. Thousands of ships. You can't fight the entire galaxy. Tom removed his helmet, showing his face to the alien. We don't want to fight the galaxy. We just want respect. Back at the Council headquarters, Rex was making a difficult decision. The reports were clear. Earth's forces had captured or disabled all 20 ships in under an hour. No Council species had ever done this before. What are your demands? Rex asked President Wilson, his voice heavy with defeat. First, reclassify Earth immediately, Wilson said. We are not a minimal concern species. Rex nodded. That much was painfully obvious now. Second, return all human captives and cease all abductions. Done, Rex agreed quickly. Third, we want a real seat at the Galactic Council, not as children to be watched, but as equals. This made Rex pause. That's unprecedented. Wilson's face hardened. So is what just happened to your fleet. You have 1 hour to decide. After that, our ships start moving toward the jump point to reach your council station. As the screen went dark, Rex sank into his chair. Old Tark's warnings echoed in his mind. They had completely misunderstood humans. They weren't becoming peaceful. They were becoming something far more dangerous, united. The Galactic Council chamber was silent. All 12 alien leaders sat around the large circular table, their expressions grim. Administrator Rex had called an emergency meeting. "I have recalled Analyst Tark from retirement," Rex announced. The doors opened, and the old alien shuffled in. His body was bent with age, but his purple eyes were still sharp. "Tark, tell them what you told me," Rex said. Tark looked around the room. "Humans knew about us all along. They didn't just discover our observation posts recently. They've known for generations." A council member from a reptilian species hissed in disbelief. "Impossible. Their technology couldn't detect our cloaking systems." "Not at first," Tark agreed. "But in their year 1947, one of our scout ships crashed in a place called Roswell." Rex interrupted. "We investigated that. The ship self-destructed as designed." "No," Tark said firmly. "That's what our report said because that's what we expected to happen. But humans recovered parts of that ship. They began to understand our technology. Over the next decades, they detected more of our ships, our satellites." He tapped a button, and images appeared on the large screen. Old human photos of UFOs, documents from secret government programs, satellite images of hidden human facilities. "They created a show for us," Tark continued. "On the surface, they pretended to still be divided, still fighting petty wars. But underground, underwater, in secret bases, they were uniting, preparing." Another council member spoke up. "But we monitored their global communications, their internet. We saw their divisions, their conflicts." Tark laughed bitterly. "Yes, their public internet. Did you ever wonder why a species smart enough to reverse engineer our technology would put all their real secrets on a network we could easily monitor?" In the Earth Command Center, Dr. Reed was studying the data taken from the alien ships. "I found something important," she told President Wilson and General Moore. "Their main fleet is at least 3 months away at top speed. We have time to prepare our defenses further." Wilson nodded. "And the council station?" "Lightly defended," Reed said. "They never expected to be attacked there. Their weapons are ceremonial, not practical." Moore studied the star map. "We could send a small force, show them we can reach their home base. That would strengthen our negotiating position." "No," Wilson decided. "We don't want to appear too aggressive. We want respect, not fear." Reed looked up from her screen. "There's something else. According to these files, there are 17 other minimal concern species being monitored and exploited by the Council. Some have been that way for centuries." Wilson's expression changed. "Are they taking specimens from those worlds too?" "Yes," Reed confirmed. "Thousands of individuals." Wilson and Moore exchanged looks. "That changes things," Wilson said quietly. Back in the council chamber, Tark was finishing his report. "Humans don't think like us. When we downgraded them, we thought they'd become complacent. Instead, they saw an opportunity. They knew we'd be watching less carefully." "What do they want?" asked a council member. "Based on my analysis," Tark said, "they want 3 things: security from abductions, recognition as equals, and what?" Rex prompted. "And to free the other 17 species we've classified as minimal concern." They've downloaded the data about all of them. The council erupted in angry shouts. Rex called for order. "We cannot allow this," a member shouted. "If these species unite against us, that's exactly what will happen if we don't change our ways," Tark said firmly. "Humans value freedom, not just for themselves but for others. They're already planning to contact the other species." In orbit around Earth, Commander Vex sat in a comfortable but secure room on a human ship. Captain Tom entered with a tablet. "Your council has agreed to our initial demands," Tom said. "But we've discovered something that changes things." He showed Vex images of alien labs where beings from different worlds were being studied. "These other species," Tom said, "they deserve the same freedom we do." Vex looked at the images for a long time. "I didn't know," he said finally. "We commanders are told the specimens are treated humanely and returned unharmed." "That was a lie," Tom said. Vex's shoulders slumped. "What will you do?" Tom's eyes were determined. "We're going to free them. All of them. And we hope some of your people will help us." Vex looked surprised. "Why would we help you?" "Because," Tom said, "not all of your people agree with what the Council has done. Because some of you still believe in justice." For the first time, Vex began to understand that humans were not just powerful. They were something much more dangerous. They were right. 1 month later, the Great Hall of the Galactic Council looked very different. For the first time in its million-year history, representatives from Earth sat at the main table. President Wilson, General Moore, and Dr. Reed faced Administrator Rex across the polished surface. But they weren't alone. Leaders from 17 other species, all formerly classified as minimal concern, sat alongside them. Some looked like giant insects. Others had tentacles or scales, but all had one thing in common. They had been viewed as lesser beings by the Council. "This special session will now begin," Rex announced, his voice carrying less authority than before. "We are here to discuss the new alliance that Earth has formed." Wilson stood. "Not just an alliance. A new council. One where all species are treated equally, regardless of their technology level or military power." The Earth delegation had worked quickly after discovering the truth about the other exploited species. Using the star maps from captured alien ships, they had sent messages and then small delegations to each world. The response had been overwhelming. These species had also known they were being watched and had also hidden their true progress. "We demand a complete restructuring of galactic classification systems," Wilson continued. "No more minimal concern designations, no more abductions for study, no more secret monitoring." Rex looked around the room nervously. Half of the original council members had already resigned once the abduction program was made public to all galactic citizens. Those who remained faced angry demands for change from their own people. "And if we refuse?" one council member asked, though his voice lacked conviction. General Moore spoke up. "We don't seek conflict, but our alliance now includes 18 species across 62 star systems. Our combined fleet outnumbers yours 3-1. He paused. "And unlike your ships, which all use the same technology, our fleet includes unique innovations from many different cultures." The remaining council members whispered among themselves. They had no choice, and they knew it. "Very well," Rex said finally. "The old classification system is abolished. A new treaty will be drafted." As legal experts from all sides began discussing details, Dr. Reed met with Analyst Tark in a quiet corner of the hall. "You were right about us all along," she said. "Why didn't the others listen to you?" The old alien's eyes crinkled in what might have been a smile. "When you've been powerful for too long, you stop seeing threats. You stop adapting. And humans never stop adapting." Reed finished. "Exactly," Tark agreed. "That's what makes you dangerous, but also what makes you valuable." Nearby, Commander Vex approached Captain Tom. The alien looked different now. He had removed his ceremonial armor and wore a simple uniform. "I've been assigned to the new Joint Scientific Mission," Vex said, "along with 200 other officers who share my concerns about the old Council's methods." Tom nodded. "We'll be glad to have you. There's a lot we can learn from each other when we work as equals." On the main floor, the new treaty was taking shape. It created a galactic alliance of equals instead of a council of rulers. It established principles of non-interference and respect for all sentient life. Most importantly, it recognized that diversity of thought and approach was a strength, not a weakness. As the session ended, President Wilson spoke privately with Administrator Rex. "You know, we never wanted war," she said. "We just wanted respect." Rex nodded slowly. "I understand that now. But I'm curious, if we had never downgraded Earth's threat level, would you have revealed yourselves like this?" Wilson smiled. "Eventually, yes. But your mistake accelerated our plans by at least 20 years. A costly error," Rex admitted. "Or perhaps the beginning of something better," Wilson suggested, gesturing to the diverse groups now mingling freely in the hall. Sometimes a mistake leads to progress. As Earth ships prepared to return home, carrying news of the new galactic order, Captain Tom looked out at the stars. They had faced what could have been a terrible war. Instead, they had found a path to peace, not through submission, but through strength and principle. The aliens had indeed faced a nightmare when they downgraded Earth, but from that nightmare had come a dream of a better galaxy for all.